Anybody have memories of doing this? Here, Mommy. I picked these for you. Oh, thank you. Oh, they smell so good. Even if they smelled like weeds, your mom still said they smelled good, didn't she? I remember picking flowers for her like that. Man, the woods is just fragrant, wildflowers. I love it. Talking to you today about being the aroma of Christ. What does that mean? Paul says in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, God always makes his grace visible in Christ, who includes us as partners of his endless triumph. Isn't that great? Some translations say procession. There's like a triumphal entry, victors, people that would, in the Old Testament, they'd win battles and they would march back into the city in a triumphant procession. Christ has conquered death, and he includes us as partners in that victorious procession. Do you guys understand that? You have a part in this victorious procession over death. Death is not the last word. I love this. God always makes his grace visible in Christ, who includes us as partners of his endless triumph. Through our yielded lives, we yield to God. It's a wonderful thing to submit to him and his will. Some people feel like they're controlled or they're being told what to do. No, we yield gladly because he's our Father who loves us, and he's always looking out for us, and we yield to him. Through our yielded lives, he spreads the fragrance of the knowledge of God everywhere we go. We have become the unmistakable aroma of the victory of the Anointed One to God, a perfume of life to those being saved, the odor of death to those who are perishing. The unbelievers, they smell a deadly stench that leads to death, but believers smell the life-giving aroma that leads to abundant life. I love that. You know what that says to me? I've heard preachers talk about hell before, and it's like, why did God create such a horrible place? Well, actually, it was created for Satan and the fallen angels. He never really wanted any of us to go there. Okay? Hell is the absence of God. And I've never really thought about it this way, but it's the absence in every aspect of God. In other words, God is light. Hell is darkness. I mean, we can't know light unless we know darkness. You can't know strength unless you know weakness. You can't know if something smells good unless you know if something smells bad. Hell is the absence of God. And I never even thought it from the aspect of smell. Okay? If hell is the absence of God, and in Christ there's a sweet aroma, that means without Christ there's a stench. Man, hell is darkness, stench, sadness. Heaven is everything opposite of that. We as believers in a world that stinks at times, have you ever used that expression? A situation happens and what do you say? Man, this stinks. There's a lot of things that stink. We live in a fallen, broken world full of pain and misery. But as Christians, we spread the fragrance of Christ. And it's a beautiful smell to God. Okay, that smell means the presence of God is with us in our lives. And we're to spread that everywhere. Some people aren't going to accept that. It's just a stench to them. Oh, whatever. You're following that Jesus stuff. Oh, the Bible's all outdated. I'm going to live the way I want to live. They stink. Christians, we're not perfect. We don't always do everything the way we're supposed to do. But God looks at us and he smells us. through Christ. A sweet smelling perfume. You know, I don't really understand it, but God's strange in that way. Because in the Old Testament, sacrifices would be offered. And numerous times you find in the Old Testament, and it was a pleasing smell to God. A pleasing smell to God. I don't understand how the shedding of blood and all these sacrifices could be a pleasing smell to God, but He's God, and I'm okay with that. In Christ, we spread that sweet aroma of the one who saved us. Don't you love good smells? Man, it's great being out here. I love it. The smell of coffee. When I say these certain things to you, what comes to your mind? Bread, coffee, chocolate chip cookies in the oven, right? I mean, there's so many things, flowers that I just picked. And I can do the opposite too, right? Garbage, sewer, okay, I mean, body odor, whatever. I mean, there's so many things that when you hear the word, a certain smell and image comes to your mind. As Christians, we spread the aroma of Christ. And when we spread Christ, that means things like light, victory, hope, forgiveness, things that just smell good. When God sees those good works that we do, how we share with our neighbor and we love them and serve them, offer the glory of God, it's a sweet smell. Wow, we are the aroma of Christ. Think about that the next time you smell something good. What I'm going to do in my life today as I go to work, whatever it is that I'm doing, what I'm going to do today, will it be a sweet, pleasing smell to God? We want to follow the example of Christ, who did follow God to a T perfectly. And He has given us, through His Spirit's power, that ability to spread that wonderful aroma of Christ. I love it. Man, you're the aroma of Christ. Spread that good smell. This is Pastor John from 15:5 Ministries. You have a great day.